Hello, I'm in Texas, Queensland. I've come down from Miles and Condamine and I'm in Texas, only for a couple of days. There's an acupuncturist here who's quite good, so I stopped here to get some acupuncture. I'm heading down towards Inverell and Warialda and Bingara. I've got some photographic gigs to do down there, and there's also a massive big camper van and motorhome rally with 600 odd camper vans, people, well, probably 1,000 people going into Bingara, and that's where I'm headed to do some photography for them. But what I want to talk to you today about is just a brief overview of travelling with plants. Plants. Let me properly introduce you to my plants. They're all heirloom, except for that guy. That's a strawberry. It was given to me actually. I'm not sure what sort of strawberry, except I was told they were large and lush. So that one's just been potted up at a friend's place in Bingara. So I potted that up. I've given them all a dose of Charlie Carp when I left Bingara, or when I was at Bingara before I left. They've all had a dose of Charlie Carp. They were in need of a fertiliser. The strawberry had a lot of reddening around the leaves, and it was lacking in vitality, which it's now not. So these are all strawberry, alpine strawberries. Not quite ready, but when they're ready, they're sweet as. They won't get much bigger than that. But alpine strawberries are awesome. They flower all year, they fruit all year. They are frost hardy. Had them growing in the ground at Bingara. They love a good fertiliser and water. So they're my 3 alpine strawberries. This is my aloe vera for burns and itchy skin and what have you. It's got a bit of a nutrient problem with the reddening of the leaves, but I'm not overly worried about it because there's plenty of vitality in there. It feels fine. This is thyme, herb. This is a celery. It's a peppermint celery. It's gorgeous. This is my parsley. This is lavender. I'll use it for teas. I put the lavender flowers in teas. This is a mint. Very strong, pungent. And these are garlic that I've only recently put in the ground. And there's a strawberry down there. So when you're on the road, one of the things you've got to think about is water and your access to it. So the way I water my plants on the road is like this. I put a bit of water in a bucket. And I bring it up onto the soil like that. And then encourage the plant to take the water up. Now, an important thing is, when you're doing this, is to check that the water's actually going into the soil and not just rolling off the top. Yeah? So you scrape the top bit of soil away, and if it's dry underneath, you might have hydrophobic soil. Hydrophobic soil. That's soil that repels water. It's actually a fungi in the soil that repels the water. You'll need to treat that with a soil wetter. So make sure the soil is getting wet. Leave it in there until it feels heavy enough that it's full of water. That's still quite light. You can fill up. A good trick here is to fill up to the brim with water. If it floats, it's still got air in the soil. Once it sits on the bottom of the bucket, it's full of water. But don't leave it there. A lot of plants don't like wet feet. Wet feet means staying in water. Air in the soil is just as important as water in the soil. In fact, it's more important with most plants. So don't leave your plants in water overnight if they're not going to like it. Strawberries are usually fine. Garlic won't like it. Parsley won't like it. Lavender won't like it. What else can I tell you about the plants? Some people like to use slow release fertilizer. I've got slow release fertilizer, and these all had slow release fertilizer on them, but they did have a nutrient problem. The leaves of the strawberries, for example, were reddened. The leaves of the lavender were yellowing and lacking in vitality. So I wasn't so happy with that, so I gave them the dose of Charlie Carp before I left, and they're all looking fantastic. So there you have it, watering plants on the road. Interesting, huh? Actually, I wouldn't want to be out without my plants. Having strawberries with my cereal in the morning's awesome. And being able to have herbs on my pizza is just fantastic, fresh herbs. And to be able to have fresh lavender in my tea, I just love it. Wouldn't want to do it any other way. Now, stay tuned if you want to have a look at 3 things. One is hyperlapse video of me driving through town and the campsite here. 2 is hyperlapse video footage of me 4-wheel driving yesterday with my new tyres on the car and testing them out, seeing how good they actually are. And the 3rd one I'll put in is the hyperlapse footage of part of the journey from down from Condamine to about Yalarbin, which was about half an hour from Texas. The battery ran out before we got here. But they're hyperlapse videos. So if you want to have a look at Texas, want to have a look at the New South Wales side of the Texas campsite, and if you want to have a look at the countryside between Condamine and Texas, stick around, keep watching. See ya.